All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, to quote Ric Flair, the Maryland Terrapins didn't cry over spilled milk, but simply instead they reassemble the team. It's just 2 days after losing men's head basketball coach Kevin Willard to Villanova. Maryland is bringing in Buzz Williams. Now, the well traveled Williams has had plenty of success along his journey as a college basketball head coach as he's taken Marquette, Virginia Tech, and Texas A&M all to the NCAA tournament. And Williams' coaching career was highlighted by getting Marquette to the Elite Eight back in 2013. Now, make no mistake about it. Buzz is going to get the most out of this Maryland basketball program. And one could make a compelling argument and say, hey, the hiring of Buzz Williams is an upgrade for Maryland to the now departed Kevin Willard. Maryland needed to act and act fast as what they did after they lost Kevin Willard to Villanova. You bring in Buzz Williams. Like I said, he's had success as far as getting teams to the NCAA tournament. He's had success recruiting in this region as once upon a time when he was the head coach at Virginia Tech. And like I said, it's going to be important for Maryland to once again have success in recruiting the DMV. He's going to be able to recruit kids and he's going to be able to develop the talent in order for the Terrapins to try to keep up with the Joneses in the Big Ten Conference. So Maryland just received $2 million from Villanova for Willard's departure and buyout, while they only had to give Texas A&M $1 million for Buzz Williams. So at the end of the day, it's a boss move for the Terrapins right there. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of questions. How much talent is going to stay at Maryland following Willard's departure? I'm not sure. I do believe that he's probably going to try to get some of those kids that he recruited to Maryland to be in the portal, and then at the same time, if you're some of those kids that are at Maryland right now, you didn't sign up to play for Buzz Williams, okay? And that's no disrespect to Buzz Williams. So at the end of the day, he's probably going to hit the ground running, trying to bring his people into College Park, and that's totally understandable. Queen, excuse me, will he head to the NBA? More than likely, because we're talking about a kid who's probably going to be a lottery pick. So I don't see him staying around. And if he was going to play college ball at this point, he probably would do it for Kevin Willard at Villanova, if I had a guess. So again, will Buzz bring some of his players from College Station to College Park? That's going to be very interesting to see as well. And then, of course, we'll probably find out more truth about this in the coming days. But one would want to know, why is Buzz Williams leaving A&M for Maryland? I don't know all of the circumstances, okay? And I'm not going to try to sit up here and act like I'm some insider. But Buzz Williams is a guy who knows how to exit stage right. Once upon a time, Buzz left Marquette because he claimed that he was worried about the non-football schools being left behind in basketball. And now and this is how he left Marquette, surprisingly, for Virginia Tech. And now Williams has bid farewell to A&M, just like he did Virginia Tech several years ago. For me, did Buzz leave because the folks at A&M are a football school first? I don't know, but if that was to be the truth, there'd be some irony behind that. So, of course, when one coach leaves, that means another vacancy opens up. So, of course, the question is going to be, where does A&M go from here, and where do they pivot to? We just saw the Aggies finish fourth in that stacked SEC, and at the end of the day, they really cannot afford to get lost in that shuffle. You look at the coaches' room and the SEC, and it's loaded. It's going to be very interesting to see where Texas A&M goes from here. They do have money. They do have the resources. It's a football school first, yes, but you still don't want to get lost in the shuffle in the Southeastern Conference basketball wise if you're A&M. I'm going to throw a name out there. Agree with it or disagree with it. It's all good. Should the Aggies bring back Mark Turgeon? Remember, once upon a time, He had some good success at Texas A&M, left Texas A&M for Maryland. So of course A&M has been through this before, but I'm just throwing the name out there. But nonetheless, if you're a Terrapin fan, I think you should be excited about this move short term. My thing is this. Buzz Williams as a head coach, we're talking about a guy who's 120 and 73. He went 120 and 73 at A&M. Overall, he's 373 and 228. Okay. Um, this is a guy, he's had a winning record every place that he went. He's had a winning record for the most part in conference. Did not finish with a winning conference record at Virginia Tech. His best conference record overall came during his time at Marquette when he was 69 and 39. And to give you an idea about that, Buzz did a lot of that when the Big East was stacked with the likes of Syracuse, Pitt, Cincinnati, and Louisville. Okay. Um, I'll tell you this. Buzz Williams will have success at Maryland. I think the biggest issue for me through Buzz Williams' career, he doesn't stay there long enough to see that, success, go through completely. I say this because, yeah, he's basically given about, he gave Marquette 6 years. He gave Virginia Tech 5 years. He gave Texas A&M 6 years. Um, it takes time to build a program. Yes, you can do a lot in 6 years, and I think he has. But to get your program to that next level, you as a head coach have to have a commitment to the school. And of course, we just saw Kevin Willard leave Maryland because he talked about a lack of commitment, if you will. Just paraphrasing from the higher ups at the school for basketball, and I said going forward, Maryland was going to need everybody to be on the same page. Everybody really needs to be on the same page basketball wise at Maryland for this to work. And that includes Buzz Williams. You can't take a job and be looking for another job at the same time. It's kind of the equivalent where, you got to play the food in front of you and you're taking a bite, but you're already looking at what you're going to have for your next meal. Let's finish this meal first. Now, if Buzz Williams truly commits to Maryland, and if Maryland truly commits to Buzz Williams, this could be a special place because Maryland, unlike Texas A&M, unlike Virginia Tech, yes, they do have a football program, okay? But when you think about Maryland, you think about Maryland basketball first, okay? And Kevin Willard was in the process of building something before he decided to exit stage right. I said this a couple of days ago. Maryland needs somebody who's going to be committed to Maryland. And honestly, Gary Williams, he wore the Maryland colors, through and through. Mark Turgeon, it took some time as he had to replace Gary Williams, but nonetheless, the middle was good, and of course the ending wasn't as good. And unfortunately for the Terrapins, they are still looking for that consistent success that they had once upon a time with Gary Williams. So hopefully, for their sake, they'll find it. Again, I think short term, if you are a Maryland fan, you should be really excited by this hire. I think it's going to give the Terps the opportunity to keep up in the Big Ten. I really want to see where A&M pivots from here because it's so late in the head coaching cycle, and I would imagine that Texas A&M, with all of their bravado, with all of their arrogance, and I say arrogance as a compliment, in this aspect, they're probably going to want themselves an established head coach. So I'm curious to see where the Aggies go from here. That's going to be the next domino to fall. And of course, there's going to be such a trickle down effect. And A&M really, got a late start in this because a lot of the big, hot names out there, if you will, they're already off the market. All right, so I really don't know where the Aggies go to from here. But the bottom line is this: just like it is in college football, this is the time for head basketball coaches to go out there and get themselves a raise so they don't enter the coaches portal, if you will. Okay, we already saw Dusty May get himself a nice big fat raise at Michigan after the Indiana job became available. So I guarantee you there's going to be some more coaches out there who are about to get raises because they're going to, people, their administrators are going to be fearful of them leaving to possibly take the Texas A&M job. But nonetheless, Maryland zeroed in on Buzz Williams from day one. Once Kevin Willard decided to leave, I think it was mutual that Buzz Williams wanted to be there, and he's making his way around. You will. The power conferences. He's been in the Big East. Okay, he's been in the ACC. He's been in the SEC, and now he's in the Big Ten. So I guess the next stop for Buzz, after he gets tired of Maryland or Maryland gets tired of him, will be the Big 12. So you got 16 teams to choose from. But nonetheless, right now, for the present, the Terrapins are putting their trust in Buzz. And let's see if Buzz will be able to deliver in College Park. But, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365, and you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, and I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.